Hey guys, so I just finished recording this video. Sorry that my voice is not really good. I'm pretty sick right now and coughing all the time. I just want to make this video, which I explained why I make this video in the beginning, in the intro, in the actual intro. But one thing that I wanted to add on top of this, and market analysis, and on top of the trades and everything, that I provide, is just a little bit of context of the overall picture and my overall strategy. So I'm gonna provide that to you right now for maybe it'll take 60 seconds, and then I'll get into the actual market update. So if you've been following me for a long time now, you know that I have multiple accounts. I have a trading account and I have an investment account, along with a dollar cost averaging account and a few other accounts. And my strategy is to basically trade, and the more that I trade, the more profit that I make, the more I put into my long-term account. And that's good, but you also need to have the percentage in your long-term account versus the percentage of your trading account be a certain way. And for me, I like to have more capital allocated towards my investment account, towards my long-term investment account, whether that's actual cryptocurrencies or in USD. I like to have more in there compared to my actual trading account as the prices continue to dip. So as the prices drop below 75% from the all-time highs, that's when I start putting a lot more into my investing account. And honestly, I just put it there, and I have multiple investing accounts. So some of them I'll buy at major supports, some of them I'll dollar cost average into, and there's a lot of different strategies that go into that. But I will say I think that over the next 6 months, maybe longer, this is a good time to be dollar cost averaging. This is a good time to be buying the dips or buying the crashes. And if there is a major crash for some reason whatsoever, Bitcoin and Ethereum are definitely the two to come into play. I just saw this article saying that in Canada, you could only buy unlimited amounts of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash, and everything else is going to be subjected to $30,000 per year. Makes absolutely no sense to me, and I absolutely hate it because I do not like regulation. I think that it's a way to control you and to control the people and to control the masses and to make sure that the rich get richer and the poor cannot get the upper hand if they're smart enough. And so we maybe will have something more regulation saying that you could only buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff. So I would definitely be more prone to buying the Bitcoin and Ethereum, and obviously have some altcoins as well. I love my quants and everything. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that I think that having more of your portfolio in a longer term investment account, even if it's still in USD, just simply having it in there is probably a better idea than trying to trade all the time, unless you're really good at it or unless you know exactly what you're doing. But I do also like to trade because that keeps your mind sharp and keeps you in the market, of course, to know when you really should go all in or go as heavy as possible. All right, so with saying that, let's get to the actual video that I already recorded. So I'll see you in 3, 2, 1. Yo guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite, and I feel like I want to make another update video. I want to start making more videos. It's I'm working on a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm going to try to make as many videos as I possibly can when it comes to the market and helping you guys out. Plus now I got this really cool thing that I started, that I put on my screen a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, where I have the monthly, the weekly, and then my trading levels all plotted out. So we're going to just go through stuff, and that means I could go through things a lot more quickly. Let's get to it. This is the monthly chart on Bitcoin. You have that big $28,000 to $29,000 level right here, which is the 38.2. That's I'm still targeting that before the merge. I don't think that we're gonna just have this huge retrace right now. Just looking on the monthly chart, I still think that we will come up to this level. That's what I'm hoping for. Potentially we could come on the monthly chart. This is the monthly order block, so we could come all the way up to 36, but honestly, I don't think that that's gonna happen. I think maximum we'll get up to 31-ish or something like that, because I'm still under the macro condition that we're gonna head back down and reach these lows again, and potentially maybe even bottom out somewhere around here. I put December 1st as 395 days from the top, because that's usually a good indicator of when a bottom is forming compared to the last cycle. From the top to the bottom, it was 396 days, and back here from this top to this bottom, it was 396 days. So this was the top and this is the bottom. There'll be 396 days, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, so that's Bitcoin on the monthly. This is Ethereum on the monthly. So Ethereum on the monthly, we did get to the 38.2 at $1,911. I still would love to see 2,220, something like right around there, and that would be the area that I would like to really short at. Of course, I also want to make sure that I also think that we're going to continue to move up until the merge, or until like a week before the merge, or it gets closer, because it's September 15th and that is still a few weeks away. Yeah, so I am still thinking that we will eventually hit these levels. Maybe in the meantime we won't, or maybe in the meantime we'll come down. So that's where we are on the monthly. Let's go down to the weekly levels. So on the weekly levels for Bitcoin, I would at least like to see the 61.8 right here. So this is the weekly level right there, and this is the weekly order block right there. So I would love to see the 61.8 get reached, something where like this, where it comes up, gets rejected, and then eventually comes up and does this right there, and does that before making its way back down. So I'm looking at this on the weekly, and let's see if that's for Bitcoin. So basically 26,400 is where I would want to sell and then rebuy once it gets lower. And so yeah, that's my bigger picture thing on Bitcoin. Sorry if I said Ethereum, by the way. I meant to say Bitcoin. Now let's go to Ethereum. For Ethereum, so September 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, right around here, that's where the merge is supposed to happen. So I would expect it to probably start falling before then. But this is obviously the big date. And taking the fib from the top to the bottom, it looks like, 1911 was 38.2, but we did go above it on the weekly, and I'm targeting at least, like I said, 2,200 for Ethereum. Maybe if we go to the daily, we could get a little bit of a different picture around here. So we do have this. Right now things are not looking good, but I put this out in my last market update video right here. This is the trade that I'm putting on. I said if Ethereum comes back down to 1759, 1760, somewhere around there, I would very, very much like to go in pretty heavy, because this is a huge support. Pretty sure a lot of people FOMO'd in maybe like right over here. So maybe by the time it gets down here, a lot of them will sell. This is a huge support, and as long as we're above this support, this is where I would like to be. You could see all of the support back here and all the support right there, and now we're above it. So why not? If we do fall below here, let's say we fall down to like 1,600 or 1,650, something like that, then I might have to just put on a short position from right here and, literally target the bottoms, $1,000, something like that. But as of right now, most of my position is I sold off a lot of my position, but I'm planning on buying most of it back right there. So that is Ethereum. Now, if we look at Ethereum against BTC, I also think that Ethereum against BTC should get to at least this area up here, because this is it crushed, it just like slammed through all of this other resistance, this previous resistance on the weekly. Let's look at it on the daily. Yeah, like this was the previous resistance. All of this was resistance, and it fell above it. So why not come down, retest it for a standard retest, and then shoot back up into the actual top, and that will give us just enough time to come close to the merge and then come back down. So not only is there a lot of potential for Ethereum right here, not exactly where we are right now, but a little bit lower compared to Bitcoin, but there's also this huge support / resistance that we bounced off here, basically bounced off here. So this is a really big level as well. So there's two like big supports, And so I'd probably want to be going like more into Ethereum. I mean, you should already have been in Ethereum because of the merge, obviously. But like maybe you sold a lot and I was like, oh, should I buy Bitcoin? Should I buy Ethereum? I'd probably still stick with Ethereum as long as it's above this big diagonal. Because let's go to the weekly. This big diagonal, you can see top here, top here, top here, top here. Maybe it come down just slightly. See if it does. If it comes down very close. It's very, very close to like, but here, another top right there. So yeah, lots of tops and then lots of bottoms, or very close to the bottoms for this big line. So as long as we're above here, I'm pretty good. If we go below here, then I'd probably short this, or it would be another indication to short the markets, get out of altcoins, all of that stuff. I don't like how, overextend we are on the weekly, but the RSI and stochastic RSI could stay overextended for a long time. And we have calmed down with the stochastic RSI already, like quite substantially. It looks like we're going to turn over. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm still waiting. So let's go to the game plan. Yeah, I'm still waiting for my 1760 buy, and I still think that we're gonna have a nice bounce off of this level. Even if we don't get all the way up to 2100 again, I think that we will get at least up to maybe like 1900 again. And then in that case, that's still a pretty nice gain. So I'm looking at all of that. One thing that is worrisome though is the stock market. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so I have the S&P 500 propped up here, and this is the only thing that's not really good, and so a little scary. Check this out: top 1, top 2, top 3. So it's like, yeah, I do expect. Oh man, you see, this is the thing. Bitcoin and Ethereum are at better levels than the S&P 500 are. But the S&P 500 and obviously Bitcoin, they're very correlated. So it begs the question. It's like, okay, so since the S&P 500 is looking, very at a point where it could very well turn over and head all the way back down, do you want to risk being in the riskier assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum? That's a really good question to ask. So perhaps if you're overextended in your longs, I'd probably get out of them on any type of a bounce, because this is quite a significant level, and we have 2 more days. We still have 2 more days to go for the week to close. So we don't know what will happen if this week closes. But if this week closes like this, then this entire area right around here is probably a pretty decent area to get out of positions. I mean, look at this: support, all of this support, lots of support. This was just Chop City right here, but it still ended up being resistance once we broke through it twice, and then broke through it again, and then a lot of resistance once again. So the fact is, though, we did break through it and close above it, like in literally the first day, which is really powerful in my opinion. But clearly there is a lot of risk, considering the fact that the stock market is where it's at. So don't be over leveraged, especially in long positions, and just be more careful. And if you want to, take a little bit of profits, or take all your profits. I'm not here to tell you what to do. One thing that I will do though is tell you what trades I'm going to take, and I'm going to be taking this Solana trade. So when Solana right here, let me adjust this real quick. So when Solana reaches this line, I plan on buying, and we'll see what happens, because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I go like this, maybe it was on the weekly chart. It's about the 38.2 on the weekly. On the daily, 12. Yeah, like big support area potentially. Yeah, I mean, previous support here, resistance, previous resistance. So this area right here is a pretty good level, both horizontal and diagonal. So that's why I'm going to give it a shot and try to buy some if it wicks down into this line. And that's Solana. So I like Solana. And if I want to short something, I'll probably try to short Litecoin, just because I don't like Litecoin. But I'm not really in any trades right now, except for some spot Ethereum. I don't really want to put on too much, simply because I'm not entirely sure what's happening. Okay, and the other thing that I actually just saw with stocks that I am not a big fan of is the NASDAQ, considering the fact that it has come back up to 61.8. And so, it could come back down. And let me just see something really quickly. So for this to come back down, it's 1%, 2%, 3%, up to 5-6%. This is probably where it would bounce to go back up, considering this was previous resistance and now it's, support. And there's, I'm sure, a lot of stops underneath this candle right there. I also noticed that on Bitcoin, there's about 4% till it reaches its previous support, and Ethereum, there's also about 4%, 5% before it reaches its previous support as well. So honestly, I expect the supports to get hit, but then I would like the price to move back up. That's what I expect. I'm gonna buy, and then what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna look in that zone. I'm gonna scale down from the daily to the 12 hour, down into the 4 hour, and then into the 1 hour, and hopefully what will happen is we'll get a move down and it'll do something like this, where it comes down, and then let's say it pops back up, and then it crashes, and then it comes back up again, and then it goes like this. That's what I would look for, is something like this to give me a really, really, really clean, nice setup that could give me a huge RR in a big area of support. That would be really great, because then I would enter here or enter here, and my stop loss would be right there. So my stop is maybe 2 to 2.5, 3%. Meanwhile, I would still target literally all the way up here, 23%. So that's what I would look for, and that's what I will. So that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this little, I want to start doing these. If this was cool, let me know in the comments and I'll post more. I'm also going to do other stuff as well, but I'll just end this now. So thanks again for watching. Here's the outro and the disclaimer, and I'll see you in the next video.